Y el Latin Grammy va para...
A la fiesta de la música vamos a
¡Enhorabuena!
Muchas gracias, Academia. Muchas gracias, Señor Dios. Muchas gracias a nuestras familias. Muchas gracias, Vladimir Suárez, boliviano.
Everything keeps happening in an unexpected way. So we didn't know the order of the awards. We had just sat down, and then all of a sudden they're running through children's albums, and we realized it's our category. We were the fifth in the which was the last one in the category. So I think at number 3 or 4, we realized this is going to be us. And then they said our name, and then immediately move into and the Latin Grammy goes to, and then they said our title again, and everything erupted. I think I was standing up and yelling before I even knew that I had moved, as the words were still sinking into my brain, and I saw Vladimir and Sofia and their son and Jose going up to the microphone to accept the award, and it was so much joy, but also like being in a dream. Things were happening, and I was somewhere in the background watching it happen.
One of the reasons why this is so exciting for me is because it allows me to have a nexus between education and music production as a percussionist. And so coming from a family of educators and musicians, this was a wonderful opportunity for me to put those skill sets together, especially for children's education, which is one of the things that I'm very familiar with and I just love to utilize within this context.
For any academic department, what's really amazing, we're all searching for ways to be true to the art form, to be true to our scholarly pursuits, but at the same time to reach out of the ivory tower and to be more relevant, to be connected to the real world. Higher ed's going through this shift. It used to be that trade school is where you went to get a job, and college is where you went to get an education. And that view is thankfully shifting now. We're not having to choose between getting an education, growing our minds, and learning real skills that connect to the world, that make an impact, that make a difference. And so having this experience, having this tie-in from the ivory tower to something that reaches so many people, that's considered the top award in music for 31 countries, that gets this kind of publicity, gives us that relevance. That's huge.
Then we developed the COVID response model, and from there we implemented the exact same model for this particular project to see if it would work. We set particular goals that we wanted to accomplish. So, getting to the Grammys and beyond was definitely one of them.
The hope when you're teaching is that, as you're working with people, you're really training your future colleagues, people that you'll have this dialogue with. And so this is that to a much higher exponent. And I really just don't have words for it, but it's amazing.
To make an album like this that's even worthy of Grammy consideration, one of the things that I really enjoyed about this process is the remote work. Being able to take files from multiple musicians and artists in Latin America and being able to contribute very meaningful things to the music.
One of the exciting things about this album is that it fuses so many different styles, cross-culturally, cross-generationally, cross-genre, and cross-communicatively. Really exciting stuff. I mean, we have jazz, funk, R&B, blues, pop, Mexican music, salsa, flamenco, just an array, a plethora of different styles, even classical music. And we decided to incorporate all these styles because we felt that it would be valuable and unique.
That was something that I really enjoyed about this learning experience, and it's something that I will do all over again because it's mixing these different skill sets together for that mission.
The students and I, we've produced different children's albums in years prior. We knew that this was an avenue to continue maximizing the credibility. So there you go, that scalability that we implemented from the COVID response model. So
it's very important to be consistent and to be authentic in social media because people are looking at what we're doing and they need to see that what we're doing is genuine and that we're available and we're authentic in all the things that we're doing with whatever project we take on. So when that availability and being genuine and that authenticity, when it translates, from the consumer to the producer and vice versa, then we're able to make some awesome things happen as far as social impact is concerned.
Our producers, Vladimir and Sofia, they're even getting featured on Rolling Stones right now. I just remember the sun coming into my room and I was like, today's the day. Today's the day that we're gonna make an impact that hasn't been made before.
Everything that we had worked for, everything that we had dedicated to this audience, everything we put into the product, it was just, this was the high point. This was the goal. And so this was just something that really gave the why to the what. So we did this so that we could present a meaningful product for children within commercial music and with education. And so this is just a qualitative experience to show people that doing this was meaningful within the Latin Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences. And so that was a wonderful moment, and to relive that every time I see that video on my Facebook is just, it's insane. It's insane.
Because there hasn't been an album like this that has socially impacted generations already from different countries and different walks of life in children's music. You know, we often forget that kids have their own history already too. Maybe they're 3 years old, but they still have their own history. So I already knew that we have won in that sense. But I just remember going down the stairs and everybody was nervous, jittery. They're like, oh no, we don't know if we're gonna win. And I'm like, you know what? I think we are. I think we are. I remember looking at my colleagues and they were like, what do you think, bro? And I said, we're gonna win. We are gonna win.
The Grammys is not the finality of it. We take the influence that we have within the recording arts and we make it relevant for how we educate. So the Latin etymological origin of the word educate is educere, which means to bring out from within. So whenever I teach, whenever I'm teaching students, you know, within MIDI production or music education or percussion, I always try to bring out the potential that they have. And so this Grammy was just a qualitative testimony for what I'm able to do, you know, on a level with other artists from different countries and of different continents. So that's something that I take away from this is it validates what I'm able to do on an educational level, you know, from the recording arts. So
and we centered it around the idea of creating an album that would educate students and families about the importance of music and the utilization of music to create culture and enrich quality of life in the home. And so all the songs are really centered around that particular concept.
But what was interesting about this project is that not only did we connect internationally with different musicians, we also connected with them internationally at an educational level. We all understood the mission of this project. We all understood that this was an educational based music project, and in a different language, by the way. So there's all different types of challenges that comes with that, because some of them spoke English, Spanish, some of them didn't even speak English or Spanish. But we all got together and said, you know, this is an educational album and we want to make sure that the message that we're giving is going to teach something for future generations to come. And that is unheard of, because usually when musicians get together, they just want to create something that is a little bit self-centered. We have to say musicians are a little bit self-centered. But in this occasion, what was so great about this is that none of the musicians really cared about their self-centeredness. They all cared about the educational value that this project was going to bring for future generations of all these kids that are going to listen to this album.
One of the things that we had to do is really connect with people face to face, eye to eye, and heart to heart. So it's, when we think about impact, what we really want to do is we want to be personal and relational. We want to meet people in a lateral level, you know, horizontal impact, if you will.
What makes us a very unique recording team and a recording musicians is that we have the availability to cater personally to everybody's needs in the project. We have the availability to sit down and actually talk about the project. We don't necessarily work on a budget, time-driven recording session. We work with what we have and we create gold with what we have.
We definitely employed impact, inspiration, community development, and marketing and translatability in order to help foster marketing and innovation in new media outlets and multimodal functionality to really help leverage what we have now created and the standard that we have now set for ourselves in the future, moving forward, working as a powerhouse production company. So I'm so honored to have this position to be able to do this as a professor and as a professional producer, recording artist, performer, and to do this with this team, this cohort of students and colleagues and industry professionals that we collaborated with. Could not have asked for a more incredible opportunity.
Ah!
4 hours and he's getting us. He's getting us.
No Figaro?
Figaro.
You know how we do.
I'm weighing down.
Yo, look at the back right there. Look at that back. Oh, Vegas, baby.
VIP.
Thank you so much.
1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in the back. Woo! Meet our driver who's taking us to the Grammys.
The lady's happy? Oh yeah. The lady's happy? Yeah. Okay, good.
Robert,
Jose,
with Silvio.
with Muhammad. Yeah. With Muhammad. Yeah.
I'm narrating. I'm narrating my video of all this. And then we have the more comfortable in the back.
Yes.
We have.
Y el Latin Grammy va para...
A la fiesta de la música vamos a...
¡Enhorabuena!
Viviré.
Well, what can I say? We did it. Praise God.
Yes, sir.
Yep. How many? Two.
Sure.
That's right. Best Latin children's album in Spanish language. Best Christian album. No, best Latin children's album. And then best children.
Yes, sir.
Messed it up. You get it what I mean.
What we get? We got the W.
Make sure you don't put that
Hey, what's it like to be a champion?
This is what I do, baby. This is what I
Hey,
do.
what you do? What's it like to be a champion?
It feels great.
Woo! What's it like to be a champion? Ah! What's it like to be a champion?
Amazing.
Hey, what's it like to be a champion?
What?
What's it like to be a champion?
It's wonderful.
Woo! Wait.
Bueno, sí. Camina. Rico, rico, rico. Y como dice mi coro que sigue ahí. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Escucha. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Melodía, melodía. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Ay, escucha mi salsa ahora. Ahora estamos gozando para bailar, para gozar, qué rico está. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. La salsa buena es la verdad. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Bueno, mira, escucha ahora. Ja. Si escucha mi salsa ahora, mi salsa para